Pac-12 volleyball, and we welcome you to Bullard Gymnasium on the campus of Washington State University as the Washington State University Cougars getting set to play host to the Oregon Ducks, a pair of top 25 teams facing off against one another as the 16th ranked Ducks are taking on the 22nd ranked Washington State University Cougars. Steve Grubbs and Squabo says heading your way here from Bullard Gymnasium, and for the Cougars back at home and inside Bullard Gymnasium for what will be for them their final two home matches of the regular season. And for the Cougars, they have performed well at home so far this season. They did have a tough five-setter against UCLA and Stanford, but other than that, one slip-up against USC, but a huge win over the Washington Huskies. And they've also won their last three at home, including wins over California, Arizona, and the reverse sweep over Arizona State. Take a look at your Pac-12 standings. Of course, the Cougars and Oregon bunched up near the top half of the standings. As you see, 6 teams in the top 25. Oregon and Washington State tied for third at 11-5, 2 games behind the UCLA Bruins and the Washington Huskies. Well, as you take a look at Washington State, obviously no Pia Timmer. It means others are going to have to step up. And how about the super senior Penny Tusa as she took over the all-time lead in service aces in Cougar history. She got that done against Stanford. She now has 145. That's 2 more than LaToya Harris. Another player that stepped up, Squabo, is Argentina Ung.
Yeah, Argentina Ung has big shoes to fill today. As you mentioned, Steve and Sam, Pia Timmer is out in the last matchup against Oregon. Pia had 13 kills, 2 blocks, and an ace. Those are big shoes to fill. Argentina's coming off 15 kills and 15 digs in her first career start.
So for the Cougs, they get ready for what will be a matchup against the Ducks. Here you see a couple of the big players that we're looking for. Georgia Murphy on the defensive side of things, Brooke Nunaviller on the offensive side of things for the Ducks. And the Ducks have been playing good volleyball as of late. They swept 12th ranked UCLA. They were also 2-0 this past weekend at home, and they are looking to try and continue their upward trajectory. However, to do so, they're going to have to get past the Cougars at home here in Bullard Gymnasium. First serve is next on Pac-12 Insider.
Well, this is such an important matchup for both teams, like you were talking about, especially with Pia Timmer out. Pia on the season leads the team in points, kills, and kills per set. So having her out for this game is going to be a huge loss. But as we talked about in the pregame, Argentina Ung, she could be the biggest difference, the biggest playmaker in this game, and be the difference for Wazoo.
For Washington State, again, with the Pia Timmer injury last Friday, or actually it was last Thursday against the California Golden Bears, they were able to get that win and still competed well against Stanford. We're looking at perhaps 1 to 2 weeks for Pia Timmer. They're going to obviously play it day by day and match by match and just continue to progress her injury and see when, and hopefully not if, but when she comes back. And at the very least, they're hoping to get her back for an NCAA tournament run. But again, as you mentioned, Argentina, great job with that 15 kill, 15 dig performance. And it now lies on everybody else to just raise their game up another notch.
Yeah, no question about it. Last time these two teams played, Wazoo held Oregon to their lowest hit percentage of the entire season, 0.8 points worse than their previous low of 0.171 against Utah. Wazoo held them to 0.091 hit percentage in the last matchup.
It was defense that really did it that entire weekend against both the Beavers and the Ducks as they were able to get the sweep over both those two teams. And now they're hoping to finish out the home portion of the schedule strong. Again, as Squabo mentioned, 3 of the final 4 matches against teams in the top 25, just like the Cougars are. We now get ready as Penny Tusa and Jen Greeny met on the sideline for a quick little, do you call that a handshake? What do we call that nowadays? A little hand slap?
A pregame warm-up celebration.
There you go. All right, we get things rolling. Carly Basham at the service line as we're ready to start this one from Bullard Gymnasium, and we are underway in a serve across by Basham, and now Oregon gets set up. There to dig it out will be Hannah Pukas, and they will set up Katie Ryan, and she'll go cross court, but a nice job by Oregon to pick that up, and now a block by the Cougars, punched back over the net by Oregon. Here's Penny Tusa, the senior, but Georgia Murphy digs that one out. Now a tip over, blocked down by the Cougars. Long point to get things rolling. The Cougars wanted a double contact and ultimately got it. So obviously different when you're at this stage. The coaches almost call it a half a second before the referees did, but a nice job by the referee to notice that double contact. So 1-0 Washington State. As again, the setter whistled for the double contact, and we get underway at 1-0 Washington State. Now a kill, that time for the Oregon Ducks as they set up one of their outside hitters. And again, Oregon's been playing really well as of late.
Yeah, Oregon's been playing some great volleyball. That's one of the trends heading into the game. They also have a pretty tough schedule down the stretch of the season, but not as tough as Wazoo.
Nunaviller, one of the leaders for the Ducks, ended up picking up that first kill for the Ducks. So even at 1 as we get back underway with the Oregon serve. And there's the freshman, Katie Ryan, to finish off her points.
Yeah, and how about Katie Ryan going to the top shelf for that kill? Great job getting up there for the young fella.
Yeah, I mean, you take a look at, again, Katie Ryan, just a freshman, but she has stepped in and done really good in her initial campaign with Washington State and picks up the first kill for Washington State as it's now 2-1 Cougars, and Julia Norville will check in for her, and her serve is over and across. Once again, a set to the outside, and that will be yet another kill for Brooke Nunaviller. No doubt the leader on this team offensively for the Oregon Ducks.
Yeah, no, there are some really good players on this Oregon Duck roster. You touched on Brooke Nunaviller. She had a really good outing the last time these two teams played, 8 kills and 14 digs.
The serve from the Ducks as we're even at 2 apiece. This time Magda Yahalasheva set up in the middle, and she'll pick up the kill. So that time a little bit of a quicker point, and the Cougars find their middle hitter for the first time tonight, and it's now 3-2 in favor of the Cougars.
Yeah, and Yahalasheva needs to have a really big game here today, the leading point getter on this team outside of Pia Timmer.
So now it'll be Penny Tusa, the super senior, at the service line. Nice serve there. She was looking for yet another ace, but didn't get it. Now Nunaviller from the back row able to pick up the kill. Yahalasheva and Ung were there, just couldn't quite close the block, and it stays on the Cougar side. And it's another kill for Brooke, and the Ducks have 3 points, and Brooke Nunaviller has 3 kills and 3 points for the Ducks. Oregon back with the serve after the first point for Washington State. Nothing but side out since, and now another side out is Yahalasheva, who was kind of quiet last weekend in Stanford. You mentioned she has to have a big match here for the Cougars.
Well, and defense is one of the big keys to the game, as you mentioned, Steve. 2 blocks here early for Magda, and the kill right there. A good start for Magda.
So she's got a couple of kills as the serve is over. Set to the right this time, and there's Kalia Williams trying to get the block but can't get it, and again stays on the Cougar side, so a point to Oregon. So again we seesaw back and forth with side outs, and it's 4 apiece. And the serve will head over to Kiari Roby, the freshman from Atlanta, Georgia, who will now serve for the Ducks. Short serve, a nice get that time by Norville, and now Argentina Ung with one of her first swings. A joust at the net, and it will come across, but a nice get by Hannah Pukas to save the point for Washington State. Now it'll be Tusa with the pass. Set this time for Kalia Williams, partially blocked at the net, and then Kalia on a second attempt will finish it off for Washington State.
And how about the hustle right there by Julia Norville and Hannah Pukas diving on the floor early, showing the importance of this matchup, not giving up on the play, keeping the ball in the air, and allowing their teammates to make a play.
Well, it looks like we're going to have a challenge from the Oregon Duck head coach, Matt Ulmer, as it looks like he is going to challenge whether or not that ball actually hit the court or not, and whether or not the Cougars were able to keep that one off the deck. So we will see if we can get a good couple looks at it, as again, Oregon going to issue the first challenge of the night. Right now listed as a point for Washington State, so it would have to be overturned for that to change, as they will go over and take a look at the scores table and take a look at the video here at Buller Gymnasium. It was so quick, and a lot of bodies between us and them. Did you see anything as far as to whether or not that one did catch a piece of the floor?
I saw how close it was. With the momentum, it looked like Norville was able to get her hand on it. We're looking at the replay now. It's going to be close without question, but I think it's a really tough call to overturn.
Yeah, they were showing Kalia Williams there, and I don't think they were challenging that portion of the play, because Kalia obviously had that one well inside the line, right? You saw that, didn't you?
Yeah.
I think what they're challenging is the pancake up, where it was, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 times before on the net cross where the Cougars had to scramble for it, and you were describing a squabble with Pukas and also Norville to keep that play going, and I think that is what the challenge is, and we will double check. The one thing that the referees can do that we have learned over the years is that when they go and look at a challenge play, they can look at all of it. So if that ball would have been out off of Clea Williams, that also could be part of it. But again, that one was clearly in as far as the finish off by Clea Williams on the point. But Matt Ulmer hoping to keep his Ducks. They've been a little banged up this season. They're getting healthy again. And how about that match last week in a sweep over, at the time, the sole leaders of the Pac-12 Conference, UCLA, and that loss has now got UCLA and the Huskies tied atop the conference.
Well, in Oregon, 5 straight wins coming into this matchup, 20-6 overall, 11-5 in conference, tied with Wazoo. You look at the Pac-12 standings, how tight are they? 3 teams knotted up at 11-5. Oregon, Utah, and Washington State. 2 of those teams are changing right now.
Well, they did overturn the call, so they will say it was down, so it'll be a point for Oregon. So a good challenge by Matt Ulmer and the Oregon Ducks, and so with that, they've taken their first lead. And then after the long wait, a service error from Kiari Roby, so that'll give the Cougars their 5th point. Again, awfully tough for Roby to sit there for probably, a good couple of minutes before she had to serve that one, and obviously plunked it into the net. Now Hannah Pukas with a short serve. That's a good one, and that's going to be the first ace of the night for Washington State. And just like that, the Cougars reclaim the lead.
And nice soft touch by Hannah Pukas, putting it just beyond the reach of Taylor Williams.
So Pukas again at the service line as the Cougars. We've talked about Penny, and she's been a big part of it, but as a team have been serving awfully well the last couple of weeks. And now Oregon, to even things up, that'll be on McKill from Morgan Lewis. And we'll even at now 6 apiece here in the opening set.
Yeah, just a bad bounce off the defenders of Washington State. Goes out of bounds. Unfortunate turn of events for Wazoo.
So now a setter checking in, Elise Ferreira, as they will swap setters in and out. And here comes Ferreira's serve. Ong will play it. Now the set to the right for Kalia Williams, who goes cross court. Ferreira there for the pass. Now set to the far side, and there to dig it out will be Penny Tusa. Now Kalia Williams trying to finish things off, and as Ferreira tried to keep that play going, hit it with a couple of hands, and double contact whistled on her, and a point to Washington State.
Well, and credit to Kalia Williams right there. The misdirection threw off the defenders, looking one direction, hitting it the other. Great job by Kalia, confusing Oregon defenders.
Argentina playing all 6 rotations with the injured Timmer with that serve, and now a ball that's into the net from Carson Bacon. So on the attacking air, point to Washington State, and an early 8-6 lead here for the Cougars. And a pair of top 25 teams, both with NCAA tournament dreams on the line, as there's the serve over by Argentina. There's a errant set. At least it wasn't where exactly Taylor Williams wanted it, and that's back-to-back attacking errors for the Ducks. You mentioned that last time these 2 teams met, it wasn't a very good attacking percentage day for Oregon. They've gotten off to a good start, but there's a couple of attacking errors and another serve from Argentina. Great serve, and high into the air on the overpass will go Kalia Williams.
Yeah, Kalia Williams and Penny Tusa, 2 of the players that lead the heart for this Wazoo roster. They walk around with such a swag, such a confidence, and every single point as the team gets together, the energy that they bring to the roster, you can see it right there, what it does for this roster, causing an early timeout early for Oregon.
10-6, Washington State, and we're back after this to Buller Gymnasium. Well, 10-6 out of the timeout, but a service error from Argentina Ong, and it's now 10-7 in favor of Washington State. We were tied every step of the way up through 6. Then a 4-point run by the Cougars, but now a service error gives it back to Oregon. Argentina, big smash from the back line, but dug out by Argentina. Now Nunaviller plays it. Tusa there for the pass, and Katie Ryan goes up. Georgia Murphy got to it. Hit back over to the Duck side. Nunaviller with the tip this time, and it's just beyond the outstretched arms of the blockers, and that time Brooke Nunaviller showing a little finesse on the tip across.
Yeah, and I think that point falls on Hannah Pukas. Got to be there to have the back of Kalia Williams and Katie Ryan on the front line.
So back-to-back points for the Ducks to make it 10-8. Now Tusa going up. There's a tip of her own. Oregon sprawls after it. It's over the net, but there to put it away is the lanky frame of one Katie Ryan.
Well, and Katie Ryan finding the one spot of the defense where defenders cannot get to. There was a scramble to keep the ball in the air for Oregon, and Katie Ryan found the weak spot on the defense.
So back to our original server of the match, and that'll be Carly Basham with the Cougars up 11-8. The set to the right this time, and up the line and picking up the kill for Oregon is going to be Gloria Muturi, as she ends up getting the kill for Oregon, and it's now 11-9 Washington State here as we approach the midway point of set number 1. Imogen Murphy, recent addition to the 1,000 dig club in Oregon history now at the service line. Tusa there to play the serve. Magda dropping the hammer. Murphy got to it, but her pass was well beyond the back line, and Magda off to a good start with 3 kills so far for Washington State.
And a fast up for Magda right there, setting her up for success, jumping before the set and nailing it down to the floor for a beautiful kill early on.
She's got 3. Nunaville leading the way on the Oregon side with 4. That's going to be just long off the arm that time of Julia Norval for a service error, so that'll go down as a point for the Ducks.
Yeah, serving has not been a strong point here early on either side of the matchup, but it's something that needs to get cleaned up, and I expect to see that happen soon.
Here comes the serve now from Oregon. There to play at Argentina. They will set outside for Penny Tusa. That one off the deflection, and Murphy can't play it, so Penny Tusa will pick up another kill for Washington State.
And Penny Tusa, despite being 5'8", can get all the way to the top shelf, hitting against defenders well taller than 6 feet.
So now she heads to the service line. And the super senior puts that one into the net, so a service there, and it's now 13-11 in favor of the Cougars.
You know, when you lead the franchise in all-time aces, you know, we forgive you for things like that.
Well, and again, sometimes when you are going for aces, it's high risk, high reward sometimes too. Here's Nunaville's serve, a short one that Julia Normal gets to, then Hannah Pukas goes on the attack. Oregon ready for it though, but that one's gonna end up long. They look to make sure no touch, nobody saw one, so the attacking air gives the point to Washington State.
Yeah, Taylor Williams had the right idea for Oregon, aiming for the back corner, just a little bit too much mustard, puts it out of bounds.
So now Magda to the service line for the Cougars. Her serve. Tough one that Murphy will have to come over and set. Then Nunavilla runs up to hit it from the back line. Pukas in the joust at the net and will win the joust. That time against Chiari Roby at the middle of the net. And Hannah Pukas showing a little arm strength there to win the battle at the net.
Yeah, and Roby tried to follow it, getting one more touch, but no teammates there to help. Great job by Pukas.
15-11 in favor of the Cougars, and a short serve, and that'll be an ace. Haven't seen many short serves this year from Magda Yahalasheva, but she uncorked one there. The Cougars get their second ace of the opening set, and they now have their biggest lead of the opening set. 16-11 Washington State. Another timeout from the Ducks. We'll take it with them. Well, 16-11, Washington State on top here by 5, and Magda Yahalasheva. Again, no Kia Timmer tonight for the Cougars, and Magda's responded as you look at the stat sheet there. 3 kills and 3 attacks, and of course, that last ace going to Magda as well.
Yeah, he talked about it. Her role is magnified tonight without Pia Timmer. We still haven't seen Argentina step up, so Magda's role has been huge to this point.
Another serve from Yahalasheva after the Duck timeout. There's a good get by Tusa on the attack from Oregon, and tipped over by Kalia Williams. Dumped across that time by the Duck setter, and that one will end up down. It was Kylie Robinson. Now the Cougars run a, again, 5-1 set. That's where you've got the 5 attackers and the 1 setter. Meanwhile, for Oregon, they run a 6-2, as it'll be Robinson and also Ferreira, your 2 setters for the Ducks, and a point there on the side out to Oregon. The serve played by Tusa. Now Argentina looking to go to the sideline. That one touched by a Duck at the net, so Argentina will indeed pick up the kill, and for her, that'll be her first of the match.
And Argentina with the sneaky one. I missed the touch right there, but a great job of getting the point and getting on the board for Wazoo.
Now Hannah Pukas had an ace the last time she was at the service line. This time a little firmer on the serve. Set to the middle this time, and The Cougs unable to get to that one, and it will be put away by Carson Bacon for Oregon.
You know, credit to Kalia Williams and Argentina Ung for fighting for that ball, getting it up in the air, but couldn't find a teammate on the scramble, unfortunately, for Wazoo.
The 6'4" redshirt sophomore from Fontana, California. Bacon able to finish off the point. Now Ferreira checks back in. Pukas was set for Argentina in the middle this time, but dug out in the back by Oregon. They back up to send this one over, but blocked back by the Cougars. Now from the middle, couple of whacks each side, and now it'll be Argentina going for it, and a block down by Oregon. There to get to that one, Carson Bacon and Muteri, so they are able to pick up your first official statistical block of the night that finishes off at a point. So 17-14, Cougs now by 3 after the back-to-back points from the Ducks. Here's Kalia Williams. Oregon able to play it. Now with the deflection, Basham with the pass. Dumped across by Pukas, and getting an arm on it was Bacon at the net. And then up the line, but missing will be Oregon on the attacking arrow side out to Washington State.
You know, 2 ranked teams going at it right now, late in the season. Both teams need it. This is not checkers. This is chess tonight.
Yeah, it's a couple of teams that, again, come into this one tied for third, still statistically in the conference race, 2 games back. The top 2 would have to make some mistakes along the way, and there's Penny Tusa finding a seam between the block and putting it away.
Splitting the defense right there. It's Penny Tusa. If you can't see over him, why not go between them? Great job by Tusa, splitting the defenders with the kill.
So 19-14 Washington State. Again, she was recruited to Pullman as a setter. Here's the attempt now from Oregon, and a good swing that time by the Oregon Ducks, and that one will be put away once again by their middle, and again that's Muteri. Gloria able to pick up another kill for Oregon. 19-15, we were even all the way up through 6, and the Cougars went on a 4-point run and have had control since. Tusa plays that difficult serve. Now from the back row, it's Argentina Ung. Good pass though by Murphy. And it'll be Pukas with an errant pass. Basham keeps it alive, and Argentina will get it across. Free ball for the Ducks. Set to the outside for Nunaville, but she's going to miss it wide. Well, it was an errant pass, but how about the play by Basham to track it down, and then Argentina keep it in the play to keep the point going.
Yeah, Basham with the scramble, going the wrong direction, able to save it inbounds. Great job by Wazoo scrambling and coming away with the point.
So 20-15, the Cougars on top. Another almost overpass, but a great get, although they're going to call a lift on that get from Oregon. So the setter went up, tried to save it from being an overpass, and she's called for the carry. So 4 straight points from the Cougars, and it will be the Cougars to continue on here at 21-15. So the Cougars up by a half a dozen, and Basham again to the service line. It's actually 4 of the last 5, not 4 in a row for the Cougars. Meanwhile, a service error there, and that'll give it back over to the Ducks at 21-16.
Serving woes continuing to haunt Wazoo early in this match. 21-16 the score. Still able to win set 1. That would be huge, but you got to clean up the serving game.
Now a few more service errors than they'd want, but a couple of aces to go along with it for the Cougars. Here now is the serve from Georgia Murphy. Set to the right for Katie Ryan. She'll tip it over. Ducks scramble. Nunaville with the attack, but that one is going to be, they say, touched at the net by Washington State. Cougars are saying not a chance. And a challenge card being flashed by Jen Greeny on the touch there. So we will see. Nunaville went back, and that looked like it was over the outstretched arms of Katie Ryan and Magdia Halashma, but we'll see if we get a better look on it. But the corner linesman came up and said there was a touch. They go up and along the net over on the far side. A little tough to see from the GoPro angle there. We'll see if we get anything maybe up the line or from one of the end zones. Oregon was pleading for the touch, and at first glance, I thought it was over the outstretched arms. The other thing here, too, is that the call on the court was a touch, so if the down referee not 100% certain. Here's a better look at it as we'll get to see here. The ball comes back to the Oregon side. Nunaviller hits it. And did that time Katie Ryan get a fingertip on it? I think she would be the one with her perhaps left hand. Let's see if it goes a little bit further.
It's so tough to see, Steve, with the blur right there. But if Wazoo is able to get this point, credit it to the creative play style. We're seeing players fake fast ups and getting defenders for Oregon diving on the floor, getting them out of position and forcing them to make hits like this one that we're seeing right here. A great job by Wazoo early on in this game, changing it up, showing multiple different looks and hitting in different styles. We've seen soft touches, we've seen cross court, straight down, fast ups. We've seen all sorts of things, and it's that versatility that could be the difference here today for Wazoo.
They do overturn it, no touch rule by the officials, so the point does go to Washington State. So that will make it 22-16. Again, you take a look at it, it was hard to see, but just at first glance, it looked like there was a pretty good bit of distance, and certainly the reaction from the Cougar coaching staff made you believe. So each coach has used a challenge, and each coach has been successful on their challenge. And the serve back to Washington State. There's another errant pass for the Ducks, a little out of system, but they get it across. And now Penny Tusa going up for a tip, getting a hand on it, but nothing else. And Penny Tusa continuing to do Penny Tusa type things. 4 digs, 3 aces. You need a stat sheet filled up. Penny Tusa will usually do that for you.
And Steve, you were talking about before the game the versatility of Tusa, once again showing another ability with the soft touch just past the outstretched arm of the defense.
So the Cougs up 7 here late in the opening set. Nunaviller has that one blocked down, and that time the Cougars close it. Pukas and Yahawasheva. I think that one was mainly Hannah Pukas, who may get another look at it, but a great job by the duo to close down the block.
Well, and if I read Hannah Pukas' lips correctly, I think she just said she blocked it with her forearm. So a great job right there, getting up high enough to send it right back down.
So set point here for the Cougars. Another sharp serve by Norville. There's an attempt by Oregon. Touched back by the Cougars, so we keep things going. Nunaville with the attempt, and that one's going to be long, and the opening set will go to Washington State. Well, the Ducks started off well, didn't finish so well offensively. Again, just like it was down in Eugene, Oregon will finish this set with just an 0.56 hitting percentage. Opening set to the Cougars, 25-16. We'll come back and talk about it next. Glad to have you with us from Bowler Gymnasium. It's Pac-12 Volleyball on Pac-12 Insider. Well, we welcome you back. Opening set to Washington State and Squabo. As you take a look at these opening set statistics, Washington State did pretty well in that opening set, especially the back half of that first set.
We saw some service problems for Wazoo, but they cleaned it up in terms of attack errors. Only 2 versus 8 for the Oregon Ducks. I think that was one of the biggest differences in the first set. A 9-point separation. More attacks by Oregon, 36-30 in favor of the Ducks, but more kills for Wazoo, proving to be a cleaner game early on.
Yeah, again, the Cougars with that 300 hitting percentage, and you mentioned Oregon, they had those struggles offensively against the Cougars when the Cougars got the sweep in Eugene earlier this season.
.091% hitting percentage. That's what they had in their last matchup when Wazoo beat them 3-0. That was their lowest of the season, .8 lower than any other outing. And the start here today, horrible for Oregon. Once again, the defense for Wazoo becoming the difference.
So 0.56 for the Ducks. Again, 10 kills. They did have the 8 attacking errors and 36 swings. Meanwhile, again, only 2 attacking errors for Washington State. Penny Tusa, Maggie Halasheva, each with 3 kills. Nunaviller does have 4 for Oregon. And although they do have the service errors, you saw not only the 2 aces, but you also saw multiple times where Oregon was kind of scrambling off the difficult serve from Washington State, and that led to some of those attacking errors.
Positioning starts at the serve of the volleyball. A great job by Wazoo of setting up for a rally, setting themselves up in position, getting defenders on the floor, getting them out of position, and creating points of attack for some of the powerful spikers in this offense.
I mean, what's so interesting about volleyball is so many people, they look at these service aces and service errors and think that, and certainly that does correlate to sometimes how well you're serving and how well you're not serving, but you, again, sometimes have to have that risk if you want that reward of getting that other team in bad positioning, and the Cougars have done that pretty well over the last couple of weeks with the serve. Tusa this time has her attack block back, but the Cougars cover, and Katie Ryan with the next swing. Now it'll be Nunaviller for Oregon, and again, she started off on fire, getting the first 3 kills for Oregon. Then again, some attacking errors, but she will finish off that point for Oregon, and it's 5 kills for her and the opening point to the Ducks.
Only 3 kills shy already of her output last time out against Wazoo.
Here comes the set to the right this time for Katie Ryan. Blocked back, but a good get by Basham on the cover. The attempt from Ong bounces off the net, and the Ducks will play it from the right side. A good dig by Pukas. Now it'll be Katie Ryan one more time, and she'll go cross-court to pick up the kill. Mentioned Tusa and Yahalasheva. Well, now they've got company because that's the 3rd kill for Katie Ryan.
Becca Morse for Oregon does a great job of hustling to try and keep the ball in the air, but unable to get it to a teammate. A great job of recovery on that series by Oregon.
Basham serving for Washington State. Nunaviller with another attempt. Now it'll be Penny Tusa on the other end, but that one will miss wide. So the attacking error for Tusa and the Cougars, and a point going Oregon's way.
Yeah, and that ball just looked like it hit the wrong part of Penny Tusa's hands. As soon as it came off, she knew it was off. Don't expect too many of those from our lead player.
Georgia Murphy, the libero for the Ducks, leading the way with 7 digs for Oregon in that opening set. Now at the service line. Good serve. Can the Cougars get to it? A good effort by Hannah Pukas, but that one crosses on the wrong side of the antenna and will ultimately go down as an ace for the Ducks, their first of the night, as the Cougars just couldn't quite get to it. And then a heck of an effort by Hannah, just couldn't get it on the right side of the antenna.
Right, the antenna being the difference there. You saw the frustration on Greeny's face to the ref.
All right, here comes Georgia Murphy with the serve. This time a cleaner pass, and now Tusa has it, but blocked down by Oregon. Cougars again scrambling, but a good block there on what is her right side of the net by Mutera, excuse me, and she is able to get that one for a block for the Ducks, that are second of the match.
And you see the strategy by Wazoo. When that ball gets spiked down front, every single player scoots inside. They don't trust the aim of Oregon in the back corner.
So Muteri able to get that block for the Ducks, and now it'll be Oregon with the serve again. Katie Ryan trying to finish off another point, but dug out by the Ducks. Pukas into the middle, and Magda Yahalasheva putting it away for Washington State.
And it's the amount of fakes that Wazoo has done, faking the fast up, that sets it up right there. Magda taking advantage. A beautiful setup and an easy kill for our star player.
She's picked up her 4th kill to lead the way for the Cougars, and now Julia coming back in to play the back row in the service. She'll share that spot in rotation with the freshman Katie Ryan. Nunaviller this time set up nicely and makes no mistake on that swing, as she will pick up her 6th kill of the night. And Oregon off to a good start here, and with the advantage after that point to the Ducks.
And Nunaviller off to a good start herself. You mentioned it, 6 kills. That's only 2 shy of her output last time these two teams met.
5-2 Ducks early going. Here's Magda on the slide. Dug out that time by the Ducks and sent over. Now it'll be Pukas setting up a tip this time for Magda. It's tipped around on the Duck side, and then over it will come. Cougs thought maybe 4 contacts, and it'll be Argentina Ung attacking for the Cougars. Now it's Nunaviller, and that just passed the outstretched arm of the Cougars.
Yeah, and a bad bounce for the Cougars, out of bounds, off the block by Hannah Pukas. But a good job by Oregon setting up this defense, getting them all to come inside and taking advantage of the weak spot.
So Oregon off to a great start here in the 2nd set after dropping the opening set. Hannah Pukas this time dumps it across, and nobody home on the Duck side of things, so a side out to Washington State.
And Hannah Pukas getting creative, reaching into the bag of tricks. The no-look left-handed touch over the net catches Oregon's defense very confused, and a point for Wazoo.
Just the variety of different ways that Hannah can go about it, and sometimes, and maybe even with Pia on the sideline, she has to be more a part of the offense, even from her setter position. There's an ace from Penny Tusa, so the all-time ace leader, putting some more distance between her and LaToya Harris. That'll be the 146th ace in Penny's career. So interesting again with 8 matches to go. Here comes the serve again from Penny. She was 10 aces behind. It was like, well, maybe she'll get there by the end of the season. She's easily done that and now continues to extend her own record. Now it's Magda Halasheva on the slide, but a good get by the Ducks. Now a free ball coming for Washington State. Pukas again going on the attack. Murphy got to it with a nice dig, and Nunaville with it. Got a little lucky as it crossed the net, and then it's hit back over by Washington State. Nunaville will send it back to the Cougars. Pukas setting to the back row for a Penny Tusa tip. Diving after it goes Oregon. And now they will go on the attack. Basham to Pukas. Now Argentina Ung has it blocked back. Good cover by Basham. Tusa from the back row, and that one's going to end up long. Just a long extended point that both teams played pretty well on, but Tusa just a little too much there at the end of things.
Yeah, no, scramble, recovery, scramble, recovery. Both teams right there going back and forth. Great job by Oregon not allowing a weak spot in their defense, and then Tusa gets caught doing a little bit too much.
Now Nunaville to the back row for the Ducks as she will now head to the service line with Oregon up by 3. Here's Argentina Ung hitting that one off the middle and out of bounds as Roby couldn't get the block, and instead Argentina will pick up her second kill.
And a great job by Argentina finding the right angle to attack at right there, scoring for Wazoo once again.
Magda Halasheva now to the back row and to serve. Murphy plays it, set to the right, and a block down, but out of bounds that time by the Cougars. So the kill off of the block will go to Morgan Lewis of Oregon.
Back-to-back plays by Argentina Ung, though. I think she's going to get credit for that block. A great job getting up there with Kalia Williams, and it does look like it goes off Argentina.
Yeah, it's out of bounds off of her, so the point to Oregon. Now Argentina gets it through the block this time as going up for it was Lewis and also that time Carson Bacon, but Argentina that time wins the point for the Cougars. So after the kill for Oregon off the attempt of a block by Argentina, this time it's Argentina who finishes off the point for the Cougars. Now Hannah Pukas with the short serve. Set to the middle, and that time Carson Bacon will get the quick hitter for the Ducks to make it now 9-6 Oregon.
Carson Bacon, I'm looking for a big performance from her here today. She's 3rd in the Pac-12 in hit percentage behind Magda, Rachel Farah from Colorado, and then there's Carson Bacon sitting there at .349 on the year.
Was in negative numbers before that one, but now has her second kill. Now a free ball for Oregon after the difficult serve. And there is Carson Bacon for back-to-back points for their middle hitter, and she is now up and above the Mendoza line, if you will. I don't think it's the Mendoza line in volleyball. That's more a baseball term, but she's back into positive numbers, and it's now 10-6. Good serves here, last couple, but that one into the net from Elise Ferreira. So the service air will give it back over to Washington State now.
And Carson Bacon, once again, you mentioned it, not the start she was looking for, starting in negative numbers, but finding some rhythm right now. Let's see how that impacts this second match.
10-7, Oregon with the lead. Argentina Ung serving, now backing up to try and get it, but that one ends up out of bounds. Heads our way on the attacking air, so the short serve catching the Ducks a little off guard, and then having to backpedal to send that one over the Duck attacker, and it ends up being the attacking air.
Yeah, no, that ball got a little bit too close for comfort here, Steve.
The good thing is it wasn't hit with too much steam on it. Now Argentina with the serve. That one's got a little pepper to it, and that'll be an ace for the sophomore out of Sonora, Mexico. The Cougars have 3 consecutive points.
That's a way to fill your role. An ace on the serve. Great job finding the perfect spot on the defense to deliver the volleyball.
So the Cougs back within 1 after trailing by as many as 3 early on. Another short serve this time, so mixing things up. Ball head across, hit back over by Washington State. Now it's right at the net. There's a block by Kalia Williams. Into the net it goes, and now a free ball. No, that's going to be 4 contacts. So Oregon tried to get it off the block of Kalia Williams, but it pinballed around over there and ended up making 4 contacts before they cleared the net.
You know, and if Kalea Williams doesn't block that hit, there's a chance Oregon scores on that one. I didn't see a defender in position, so great job by Kalea saving and swinging that point for Wazoo.
First time we've been tied since it was 1 apiece, and Argentina continues her good serving. There's another block by Washington State. Penny Tusa going up to get it and being congratulated by her teammates.
5'8", no problem. Goes up there with the best of them, denies that attack attempt, and gets a point for Wazoo.
Just great technique on that one as you saw her turn her hands and close that block. It's now 11-10. Argentina continues her great serving at the line. Now it'll be the Cougars and Kalea Williams, and a good block that time by Carson Bacon. Set it up to the middle, and Bacon was there to slam the door shut for the Ducks.
Bacon made a great play. Hannah Pukas looked upset, able to dig and get the ball, but hits it out of bounds. Great effort, just not quite there.
So 11 apiece here in the second set, and that one going to sail long that time off the serve of Becca Morris, and that'll give it right back over to Washington State at 12-11.
I don't know about you, Steve, but I couldn't ask for a better matchup right now. 12-11 in the second set, 2 really good teams going at it late in the season.
Yeah, the problem for the Pac-12 Conference, and it's a great problem for the fans, here's Basham serve up the near sideline. And there's a good attack, and Pukas will set to the right for Katie Ryan. That cross-court attempt is going to get down. They tried to keep it up but could not, and it's 13-11. But the conference, especially the top half, has got so much parity. We're kind of cannibalizing one another, and that's why you don't see a team in the top 10 out of the Pac-12 Conference.
Of all the top 5 teams in the Pac-12, there are only 2 records separating them. 2 records for all of them.
Behind. These teams tied for 3rd. There was an attempt from Bacon, but that one's going to miss wide. 3 consecutive points for the Cougars, and they have now scored 8 of the last 10, and it's 14-11 Washington State.
What a run for the Cougars, turning things around early on in this set.
So now at 14-11, Basham ready to serve. Here's the set to the right this time. That one off a Cougar, and a kill will be logged in that time for the Ducks and Gloria Muteri. So the point going Oregon's way to make it 14-12.
And just a quick peek at the stats right now. Katie Ryan, 4 kills. Magda, 4 kills. Brooke Nuneviller has 7 already for Oregon.
14-12. Cougs on top here in the second after they took the opening set. Now Katie Ryan bounces it off of the duck and out of bounds. So the Cougs the first to 15, and it's now 15-12 Washington State.
Well, I think Katie Ryan was listening. I said, I got one more kill for you, and delivered right there on her way to the bench.
She's now the leader on the attack for the Cougs, and as she checks out and is over on the sideline talking things over with her teammates, Pia Timmer with some words of encouragement for her. And there's a serve this time. Just does stay alive, and then Magda Yahalasheva puts it away for Washington State. And you have seen the serving here for the Cougars vault them in front. A great run by Argentina Ung. That one a great serve. It ends up right at the net, and Magda Yahalasheva puts it away for the Cougars. Not only are the Cougars up a set, but they lead the second 16-12 as Oregon calls timeout, and we'll take it with them. Then we're back to Buller Gymnasium. Well, we welcome you back. Here's the last play. Squabble, what do you see here?
I see a beautiful play by Magda stepping up. We talked about some of the players that needed to step up for this roster. One name that we didn't bring up, however, Katie Ryan, number 8. 222.5 points on the year, 188 kills. That ranks her 4th on Wazoo on the season. But leading here today, tied with Magda, both with 5 kills apiece, puts Wazoo in a comfortable position here, up 16-12 in the second set.
Argentina with some great serves. Carly Basham uncorked a couple as well. And that last one, Magda certainly deserves the credit, but a little assist there for Julia Norwell as well, because it ended up being an overpass that Magda ends up taking care of. Another great serve that you again see the Ducks diving after, and there is going to be a point for Oregon this time. Magda a little upset with herself because it stays on the Cougars side of the net on the block, and a point going the Ducks' way.
And that's a bang-bang play. Magda made a great effort, but unable to score for Wazoo.
So now the serve back over to the Ducks. Serve over from Robinson. Tusa this time trying to put it away. Pinballs back to the Cougars, and there's Magda Yahalasheva once again. Right there in the middle, saying that ball's not getting past me, and picks up the point for Washington State.
Well, and how about Hannah Pukas heading into this game? 999 assists on the year, 123 points herself, and 78 kills. She facilitates the volleyball like nobody's business, does the entire role for Wazoo with no one even close behind in terms of assists. Hannah has had a big performance today. She's been hustling all over the court, 13 assists already, and 6 digs.
7 assists shy now of 2,700 in her career, and she would be just the 8th Cougar all-time to get to that number. So that shows you a little bit about what she's been able to do in her junior campaign. Tusa tried for an ace, but a good job to keep it off the deck by the Ducks, and then back over to Oregon it will go. There's a block at the net, and into the net trying to play. It'll be Nunaville, and that time Argentina getting the congratulations at the net by her teammates.
You know, and showing some versatility, blocking, killing, all sorts of different things. Scored on the serve as well with an ace earlier on. The versatility is huge. You love to see it. .182 hit percentage so far for Argentina.
18-13, Washington State already up a set, trying to make it 2-0 here in Pullman, and we're back right after this. Well, 18-13, Washington State here in set number 2. The Cougars took the opening set 25-16. And the Cougars again, along with Oregon, heading into these final 2 weeks. And we detailed this going in, Squabble, all these matchups against top 25 teams. I mean, it's not going to necessarily make or break a season, but at the same time, it will define a little bit about these teams going into selection time for the NCAA tournament committee.
Well, Wazoo has started off strong, and they are without their leading killer, their leading point scorer, and their leading kill per set player, Pia Timmer, in this matchup. That is so impressive for the ranking committee.
Tusa with the serve, set now to the outside, and this time Oregon able to get the side out. That one coming to Morgan Lewis, and it's 18-14. But one big difference that we've seen so far in this match is just that number when it comes to the attacking side of things. 13 errors for Oregon and 6 for Washington State. Ducks still hitting under 100 on the match, and now Hannah Pukas goes on the attack. We saw her do this late in the California match and also against the Stanford Cardinal. Hannah's never been shy about going on the attack, but at the same time, I think she's putting a little bit more on her shoulders, knowing that she has to carry some of that.
You know, Steve, I could not agree more. Hannah is playing one heck of a ball game so far.
19-14, Washington State, and Magda back to the service line. Now the set coming to the right, and that time a kill from Morgan Lewis, who has played pretty well in this second set. It was pretty much all Nunaville early on for the Ducks, but Lewis is coming on pretty nice in a complimentary role now for Oregon.
And you know, that's what it's going to take here today. Look, it's 15-19. Wazoo got the first set. Oregon needs this set right here. They need to go on a run, and you can't rely on one player.
Here comes the Duck serve, and that one's into the net, and it will be Abby Hansen who came in for the serve, and unfortunately for the Ducks was unable to capitalize, so a point going the way of Washington State, making it now 20-15, and the serve goes to Hannah Pukas. Short serve, diving after it, go with the Ducks one more time, another free ball for Washington State off the serve, and now Katie Ryan going up, and that'll be another point. But again, you've seen these Duck players lunge after all these serves in this set, and they're just out of system, and it sets up the offense for Washington State, and they're able to capitalize by getting the kills.
On offense right now, it's a 2-on-2 attack. You mentioned it. Morgan Lewis, Brooke Nunaviller. On Wazoo's side, Katie Ryan, Magda
Yahalasheva,
excuse me.
There's an ace from Hannah Pukas. That one was just a streaking flame to the back row that Oregon unable to handle. Nunaviller dove after it, but was too late, and another ace for Washington State, and it's now 22-15. Mixing up their serves too nicely are the Cougars. Now Bacon Going to clean up on that one, though, from the middle, and a point going Oregon's way. So 22-16 here. That ends a 3-0 run for the Cougars. And again, Washington State took the opening set 25-16 and up by a half a dozen here late in the second set. Ferreira serving now for Oregon. That time an overpass for the Cougars, and that'll be a kill for Carson Bacon, as that time a not very good pass from Argentina Ung results in the Oregon point.
The hitting percentage right now across the board is so distinct. Wazoo at .271. Oregon's getting better at .136.
All right, now it's going to be a little in between a couple players, but the Cougars clear the net. There's an attack from Oregon that Kalia Williams got a piece of. Now Kalia going to shove it the other way. Ferreira, the first to play for the Ducks. Now high up and getting the kill off the block for Oregon is going to be Muteri, so she will get the point for Oregon. So Oregon answering back after a little bit of a run for the Cougars, 3 straight for the Ducks to try and keep this in the second set.
They're going to need 4 more and only 3 more to give up. This is a huge stretch of this set for both teams.
Oregon more or less has to score 6 of the next 8 to keep things going. Here's Kalia Williams. Good dig, though, by Murphy. And now an attempt that's blocked back by Argentina Ung, dug out of the net and then hit over by Nunaviller. Now the set to the right for Katie Ryan. Was that one touched? They're going to say yes, touched by Oregon at the net. And the point goes Washington State's way.
And that's going to be 1 more kill for Katie Ryan at a .538 hit percentage out of the gate. Magda at .6. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Early on.
605-38. Pretty good numbers there from your 2 leading attackers for Washington State. Now Argentina Ung with the serve, set to the middle, dug out that time by Pukas. Now Kalia Williams going for the big swing, but missed it just a little bit long and a little too much adrenaline maybe that time for Kalia, and it's an attacking error and will be an Oregon side out.
Only 1 more point can be allowed by Oregon right now. They need to continue to go on a run.
So here comes their next serve. Basham with the good pass. Now Kalia Williams, this time from the right, high off the deflection into the back row. Then the middle. Tusa got an outstretched arm on it to keep things going, and Argentina Ung with the tip. Murphy came up to play it. Muteri from the left-hand side. Now it's Katie Ryan one more time, and the freshman is starting to take over just a little bit, and that will bring the Cougars to set point.
Well, and it was the lateral movement and facilitation by this Wazoo defense that turned into offense. A great job moving, shifting the ball from the left to the right, confusing the Oregon defense, and creating a unique angle for Ryan to attack.
All right, Carly Basham now serving for the set for Washington State. Serve is on its way, bounces off the net. That'll fall in, and that will be an ace. So the Cougars, who have been on an ace tear as of late in the conference, pick up their 6th as a team, and the Cougars have taken a 2-0 lead spot.
What a huge momentum shift for Wazoo. We saw Oregon fighting, scratching and clawing to try and crawl back into that matchup. Basham, a great job barely getting the ball over the net. That's that risky serving you were talking about. And then waving goodbye to the Oregon team after 2 sets of victory for Wazoo.
Well, the Cougars more efficient. The Ducks have too many errors, and the service line once again favoring Washington State in this one. And it's given the Cougars a 2-0 lead here at Bowler Gymnasium. We'll come back, run through some of the numbers, and then get you ready for set number 3. Oregon trying to stay in it. The Cougars looking for a sweep tonight.
Yeah, so as Steve was talking about, 16-25, 19-25, both in favor of Wazoo, in need of 1 more. But the story of the game so far, without question, has got to be the difference in hit percentage and the difference in errors. 72 attacks versus 64 in favor of Oregon. But on the contrary, the hit percentage has been the biggest difference. 13 errors to 6 in favor of Wazoo. The hit percentage percentage, .153 versus .281. Wazoo has played a cleaner game, and that's why they're up 2-0.
Yeah, you also take a look at the ace numbers there too, Squabbo. 6 for Washington State, 1 for the Cougars. They do have one more block, and the digs are even at a piece. But again, the service line, 6 aces to just 1 for the Ducks, and also that strong serving has again put Oregon in a situation where they just haven't been able to get in the flow of their offense, and you can see that by the attacking numbers that we're looking at here.
Yeah, too many times have they gotten beat without rallying the ball a single time. You got to set your hitters up in a position to make plays. We've seen players like Carson Bacon not able to have the impact she's wanted to so far today. While yes, she has 6 kills, that's on 15 attacks, only a .133 hit percentage. That's definitely someone that, if I'm Oregon, that's why I want to get more involved.
Yeah, I mean, Carson Bacon, you expect better numbers. You gave her numbers, what she's been doing on the season, and where she sits when it comes to the Pac-12 rankings. 133 from a middle, not what Matt Ulmer and the Ducks were hoping tonight when it comes to that spot. And again, the Cougars have held the Ducks as a team to a 153 percentage. But Carson Bacon, the 6'4" redshirt sophomore, one of the leaders of this team in that second set, so we'll see if she gets heated up. Cougars looking for a sweep. Again, they swept Oregon in Eugene earlier this season. The Ducks have been playing really good as of late. Of course, they had the perfect weekend last weekend, taking care of not only the UCLA Bruins, but also took care of the USC Trojans. They've won 5 in a row, but that is now in danger as they fall on 2-0 behind Washington State. All right, third set underway with that swing from Carly Basham, but into the net and on the service error. A point to Oregon to get things started here in set number 3.
Well, and Basham, that's how she ended the last set, was with just barely touching the net and getting the ball over. She went for it again and unable to convert.
All right, so now Georgia Murphy to the service line here for the Ducks, as she will have her first service set number 3. Pretty good serve by her. Katie Ryan sets it up, but Murphy able to dig it out. Nunaville looking for it, and another point to Oregon. The other thing that we've seen too, Squabbo, to some degree in each of the first 2 sets, Oregon coming out and really playing well at the start of the set, but in the middle and end of sets, it's been all Washington State, so can they sustain this here in the third set?
You know, that's a real question, Steve. Starting off strong in each of the last 2 sets, carrying a lead all the way into the teens, but not able to close into the 20s.
Now Magda Yahalasheva getting the point from her middle position. That is going to be the first point for the Cougars here in the third set. And for Magda, she will add a kill to her total, so she now has 7. And it will be Julia Norval checking in as she will head to the service line for the Cougars. Here comes the serve from Julia. Here's the set for Nunaville, able to tip it over, and that one's going to fall in for a kill for Oregon. So 3-1, the Ducks on top. Again, one of the interesting things for the Cougars with Pia not able to go tonight is that their 2 leading attackers are players that are not all 6 rotation players. They only play the front row, and that's both Magda and Katie Ryan.
Well, and you talk about the need for versatility here for Wazoo. Look at the rotationary difference between the 2 teams. Right now, Oregon has played 12 different players versus only 8 for Wazoo. Players are versatile, players are doing multiple jobs, and it's working.
Penny Tusa will get the kill that time. She bangs it into the block that time on Oregon, but the block comes back out of bounds, and a point to Washington State. By the way, if you missed it, Pia getting injured last week. Not as serious as we were hoping that it was going to be a minor injury. And it's not a minor injury, but we were looking at that play in Berkeley, and we were fearful for how serious that injury could be. Meanwhile, Penny Tusa almost another ace, and then it will come across. Meanwhile, Pukas will set to the right for Magda, and that time blocked down by the Ducks to make it 4-2. Just to finish the thought on Pia, looks like she is going to be back. The question is when. Again, they're going to continue to evaluate her match by match and week by week and day by day, and they're hopeful that she could be back in the next week or 2 for Washington State. All right, the serve over. Here comes a dump attempt by Pukas, blocked back by Bacon. Now to get a tip from Yahalasheva. Murphy got an arm on it, kept it alive, and then tipped over by the Ducks. Now it'll be Argentina Ong with the swing. To the outside, but into the net that time will go the Oregon setter, and on the net violation, a point to the Cougars.
Yeah, Jen Greening was all over that call, making sure the ref saw it, but the ref definitely didn't miss it.
Yeah, that time again, the setter into the net, that was Kylie Robinson, and that's something that just has to be called because, again, you don't want the players to get tangled up in the net. All right, there's a block back for Washington State, and that'll fall in and head of the sprawling Duck players, Argentina and Kalia, teaming up for that block for the Cougars.
Yeah, that hit put Kylie Robinson for Oregon in a really tough position, already on the ground. Tries to fight for it, but unable to get it done.
Magda now serving. That'll be an ace for Washington State. That'll be their 7th of the night. And for Magda, that's going to be her 2nd of the night. And it's now 5-4. And just like we've seen again, really ever since that one match where the Cougars set the program record for aces, they've been getting to double digits now as a team on a regular basis. Now from the back row, Nunaville, good swing there that Norval can't clean up and get a clean pass on. So Nunaville from the back row now, the lone player on either side into double digits in kills, and that becomes number 11 for her.
Steve, you talk about the importance of aces, and without question, it's made a huge difference here today. Rallying has to happen every single play if you're the defense, and by not allowing that, you're not even giving yourself a chance at points.
Good get by the Ducks. Looked like Argentina Ong was going to finish that point off, but the Ducks kept things going. Now Kalia Williams will ultimately get the point for Washington State. Great scramble effort by the Ducks, but the Cougars still finish off the points.
And once again, an assist to Hannah Pukish, not just for the great pass, but for the hesitation leading up to it, confusing the defense and not giving them enough time to react.
Well, now one assist shy of that mark we talked about earlier. 2,700 would be her next assist. Basham gets it. This time Kalia Williams going over for the pass. A couple of Cougars collide and nobody can quite get to it. Kalia Williams now with a little smile on her face. She's probably thinking to herself, I'm not a setter. But Hannah Pukas had no way to get to it, so somebody had to do it. And then ultimately with kind of just the ragtag of the play, it ends up falling down on a point to Oregon. So 6 apiece here, and Ferreira steps to the service line. Basham will have to go to the sideline to bring that one in, and then Tusa sends it over. Now from the middle, a big swing from Bacon that Kalia Williams got a piece of, and Kalia Williams will tip it across. Good get, though, by Ferreira, and a big swing from the Ducks. Tusa with another diving pass. Now it's going to be Katie Ryan from the right side that Oregon keeps going. Nunaville with the smash, hit across the net by Ung. We're still playing, and the hit over by Oregon. Another dig by Tusa. Now Ung with an attempt and a block back by Oregon. Boy, some high quality stuff on both ends to keep that point going, and this time it's Oregon who capitalizes to get the point.
You know, anytime these two teams meet up, it's going to be intensity, it's going to be battling, it's going to be a scrap. That's what we saw on that possession. Kalia Williams unable to keep the ball in the air, and that's the end of the set, or the point.
Ferreira with the serve. Now Kalia Williams for a tip. Ferreira setting to the back row for Nunaville. Pukas there for the pass. Sets to the outside, and Katie Ryan goes high up to tip that one over. Nuteri with an attempt that rolls along the net and ends up out of bounds. So the point goes to Oregon, and they've now scored 3 in a row, and it's now 8-6 in favor of the Ducks.
Steve, you talked about it, an early hot start for Oregon. That has been the trend. The question is when we get into the late teens and the early 20s, can they maintain this lead?
Again, Ferreira there to play it. Argentina Ung, set for Argentina. Now the dump across. Kalia Williams scrambles to send it back to Oregon's side. Nuteri with the swing, dug out by Pukas. It's right at the net. It comes back to the Duck side. They try and keep it alive, but the final touch into the net and will be a side out for Washington State.
And I couldn't see who hit it, but somebody on Wazoo's side hit it all the way up to the rafters. And if Kalia Williams doesn't continue, doesn't fight for it, doesn't touch it at the net, that ball would easily be a point for Oregon, but she fought for it and put Oregon in a rough position offensively.
Argentina serve. Here's the set for Nunaviller from the back row, and she will get another kill for the Oregon Ducks, and she's now up to an even dozen, and it's now 9-7. So the Ducks up by a couple here. Again, both teams in the top 25. Oregon 16th in the latest coaches poll. The Cougars at number 22, and they're showing a little top 25 style play here tonight. Service air, and the point goes to Washington State as they close to within one.
And a good eye by Argentina Ung, letting that one sail over her head. That was a pretty close one, but a good eye gets the point for Wazoo.
Now the libero for Washington State, Carly Basham, a junior transfer from Louisville with the serve. Set to the middle, and that'll be Carson Bacon as she will pick up the point for Oregon, and it's now make it 10-8, 10-8 in favor of the Ducks here on that point.
That moves Bacon to .176 hit percentage. We talked about it, third in the Pac-12 coming into this .349. She still has a ways to go to improve that percentage.
The serve from Murphy, right to the net. Looked like maybe Nunaville was across the net, but they're instead going to call a back row attack on Hannah Pukas, and Jen Greeny going to talk to the officials about it as they call the violation on Hannah. As we get to take another peek at it, does Nunaville go over the net to make this contact here? She might have gotten her hands back, but ultimately they call the infraction on Pukas, and the point goes to the Ducks to make it 11-8. So the Ducks by 3, and Georgia Murphy will continue on at the service line. That'll be played by Argentina Ung. Magda will finish off the point for the Cougars. Couple of back row players, and Morse and Murphy dive after to try and keep the point going, but cannot. And Magda Yahalasheva will pick up kill number 8.
You know, and after the last call didn't go her way, Magda had a look in her eyes in that play, and she took it out on the volleyball with a huge attack on Oregon.
So Julia Norville will check in and serve now. The Ducks will set to the outside for Nunaviller. Trying to keep it going. Off the block was Norville, but couldn't get to it. She was over behind the chair near the front row of the bleachers, but a kill off the block for Nunaviller, and it's now 12-9. The Ducks up by 3 as we approach the midway point of set number 3. The Ducks need this one to stay alive. Back in will come Robinson to set and now serve. The set for Magda, blocked back by the Ducks. Now it's Penny Tusa for a swing. The set to the right side this time for Oregon, and that'll be Morgan Lewis to finish off the point. And this time it's Jen Greeny and the Cougars who need a timeout. So the first 2 sets to Washington State here at Moeller Gymnasium, but the Ducks have found some footing here in the 3rd set. As a matter of fact, they have taken now a 13-9 lead and have their best hitting percentage in any set so far here in the 3rd. And with the timeout, we'll take a break and be right back here at the Pullman. Well, 13-9, Oregon with the lead here, as it is a 3rd set that right now the Oregon Ducks are leading in Squabble. Part of the reason why they're being much more efficient here in this 3rd set. Steve,
you mentioned it. Set 1, .086 hit percentage. Set 2, .216. Set 3, a whopping 412.
Meanwhile, an attacking error for the Cougars off the Ducks serve. So Oregon now with 4 of the last, actually make it now 5 of the last 6 points. And they've stretched the lead out to 4 here. It is now well, make it 5 as it's a 14-9 lead in favor of the Ducks. And now they get the good serve, trying to keep it going as Tusa, blocked back, recovered by Yahalasheva. Now Argentina from the back row, and she will end up picking up the kills. That's off the fingertips that time of Robinson, and a point going the way of Washington State.
Yeah, Kylie Robinson just didn't get the touch that she wanted on that possession. Looking at her hands, upset, frustrated, but still a 4-point lead to protect here for Oregon.
So now we'll see if Tusa can start something at the service line for the Cougars. Her serve. Murphy plays it, set to the outside for Lewis, and Tusa unable to get to that one, so Morgan Lewis adds a kill for the Ducks. And again, Oregon showing some of their best volleyball of the night, especially on the attack, and it's now 15-10 in favor of the Ducks. Lewis able to get that one, and I think Penny was just leaning the wrong way. All right, Magda on the slide. That one's going to end up just a little bit wide, and now it's the Cougars with some unforced attacking errors. That becomes their fourth of this third set, and it's 16-10. The Ducks now by a half a dozen. Kukas going to send it over herself, and a point for Washington State. And the one thing that the Cougars have not done recently that's allowed the Ducks to go on this run, remember we were tied at 5, and it's an 11-6 run here for Oregon, as the Cougars just haven't scored off their own serve.
Steve, you mentioned it. What's so important right now for Oregon, towards the late teens, early 20s, that's when they've been giving up runs. Let's see if they can't hold on.
That off of the hand of that time. Norval got to it. Kukas went on the attack, but this time there was the front wall for Oregon to step up and stamp that one, return to sender. So a point going Oregon's way, and they're up by a half a dozen again. It's 17-11.
Yeah, and it looked like Taylor. Is that Taylor? Nope, that's not. That's Abby Hansen getting the best of Hannah Pukas on that play now with the serve.
Norval with the pass. Argentina set up in the back row, goes up the near sideline. Robinson with the dig, and now another attack from the Ducks. It's dug out by Norval. Argentina will wipe it off a block attempt, and Argentina, seeing the block there, knew she wasn't getting it through it, so decided to use the block to her advantage and just wiped it off the block.
Yeah, brilliantly played. Morgan Lewis really had no chance right there. The ball goes immediately out of bounds.
So the side out to Washington State, and now Pukas serving. They set up Bacon. Getting a piece of that was Kalia Williams, and they'll call Carson Bacon for a net violation. And the point goes to Washington State. First time in what was 7 serves that the Cougars finally got a point off of their own serve. Now Pukas to serve again up the far sideline. Set comes to the right, hits and bounces off the net. Argentina with the reflexes to get to it. Now she'll go on the swing, blocked back by Lewis. Now it's Kalia Williams going up the gut for the kill, and the Cougars finding a little traction here as they've cut the 6-point lead in half.
Well, and the highlight of that play is Kalia Williams obviously with the kill, but you look earlier on in the play, and we saw Morgan Lewis with a beautiful touch. It would have caught Argentina but instead it hits the net.
Meanwhile, a big swing there, but that is going to be a touch at the net. It ended up just a little bit long, but went off the fingertip of a Cougar, so the point goes Oregon's way on the kill, and they'll get the serve back now, leading 18-14. So again, the Cougars with the first set, 25-16 and 25-19. This is easily, score-wise, the best that Oregon has played, and I think eye-test-wise as well here in the third set. Meanwhile, Kalia Williams trying to get that point, but a good job at the net by Oregon. And now they've got a little bit of momentum here as they are looking to try and push this one to at least 4 tonight. The Ducks now up by 5, and we're getting somewhat late in the third set. Oregon 19, Washington State 14, timeout Cougs. And we're back to Pullman in just a bit on Pac-12 Insider. Insider, the free 24/7 streaming channel of the Conference of Champions. No subscriptions, no logins, just free live sports. You can join the teams you root for by watching up to 100 live events throughout the year, reliving pivotal Pac-12 moments and catching all of the original shows and inside takes, so you don't want to miss a beat. To learn more about Pac-12 Insider and the content you can't get anywhere else, visit pac12.com/insider. Service error out of a timeout, 19-15 Oregon. We've seen it flip-flopped in the first 2 sets. Now can the Cougars provide a late push? If not, we're heading to a 4th set here tonight.
Well, and what a great way to start coming out of the timeout with the matrix move, avoiding the volleyball and scoring the point for Wazoo.
Well, here's the attempt from the Ducks, a tip, and that's going to fall in that time as Oregon will get the point. We've seen Elise Agee come in and pick up a few kills off the bench for the Ducks, and it's now 20-15. Oregon by a handful.
Yeah, Penny Tusa unable to get the ball up off the ground. Went for the dig. Great effort. Couldn't quite get there.
Another one that sails long off the serve for Oregon, so the Cougs have benefited from a couple of late service errors from the Ducks, and it is now a 20-16 advantage for Oregon. But pretty much the rest of the way, the Cougars have to double up the Ducks. Go ahead.
And what was so important, what's been such a significant trend in this game, the amount of errors by Oregon, down every set, 8-5-2 coming out of that timeout. Playing dirty volleyball right about now.
Well, it's a service error off of the serve from Basham, so now 21-16. Oregon up by 5 now. Georgia Murphy having another good defensive match, leading the way with 17 digs for Oregon at the service line. Set to Magda. That one's going to just be a little bit outside. So again, they're not missing by much, but these errors that we saw Oregon have in the opening 2 sets, it's now the Cougars. So we got Matt Ulmer, who's up and talking to the officials about something.
And Oregon's head coach is furious right now. They're calling it a tip, are the officials. Initially, I saw the judge standing upside the net, point as if it was out of bounds. Then they switch it to a tip. Confusion leads to a challenge, and now they're going to review.
So again, one of the corner linesmen coming up with that touch. I did not see it and did not think that it happened, but we'll see if maybe we can get another look at it, see if there was potential touch there. Again, we've had a couple of challenges already. Again, it was Magda going for it. I don't think there's anything there, but we'll see if they see anything on that Oregon middle. Again, the ball set to the middle for Magda. Yeah, I don't see anything there that would say that the Oregon player touched it, but we'll see if they are able to notice anything. The ball ends up well out of bounds, so don't have to worry about that if you're an Oregon fan. The only question is whether or not their middle gets a finger on it, and this might provide a better look at it. As, again, Magda goes up for it. The middle goes up, and again, just not seeing anything, but we'll see if maybe I'm wrong and the official comes up and actually does keep this call the same. They are taking another couple looks at it. You seeing a touch there or no?
Yeah, I don't see it, Steve. If it was up to the Steven Squabo broadcast, I think it'd be a point for Oregon. It's so difficult. They're trying to slow it down. They're trying to go frame by frame, but you look for a change of direction in the volleyball. That's why they got the different colors on it, but it's so hard to see. And I don't know if they can overturn the call on the court, but I do think that it wasn't touched, and that should have been the initial call.
So we will see. It looks like our down referee has come to the conclusion. By the way, that's Daphne Nelson here today. And they do say it is indeed out of bounds. So again, the call is overturned and the point will go to Oregon. So that'll make it 22-16. We've had 3 challenges tonight, all successful by each of the head coaches. 2 from Oregon and 1 from Washington State and Jen Graney. So the lead at 6 for Georgia Murphy serve. There to play it, Argentina Ung. They will set for Katie Ryan, who goes cross court, and Katie Ryan up to 9 kills now. So again, the freshman doing her part tonight, and with it, it's a 22-17 lead here for Oregon.
And Steve, I don't know if you noticed, that might have been the first time all game before that hit for Katie Ryan that Oregon actually led Wazoo. It was 216 to 214 in terms of hitting percentage.
Here comes the set outside for Nunneveller, and that time a block back by the Cougars. Magda Yahalasheva and Hannah Pukas getting there for that block.
And the rejection by Pukas has Jen Greeny ecstatic on the sideline, smile from cheek to cheek. She loves to see that from her players. So
22-18, and the serve from Julia Norwell upcoming. The set to the right this time. Uteri able to go up the line, and that ends up off of Basham and into the seats. And Oregon getting to 23 and is a couple away from trying to send us to a set 4 tonight.
Crunch time here in set 3. Only 1 more point can be allowed by Wazoo if they want to get it done.
All right, so the serve over. It'll be Magda from the right side, and she's able to find the right spot on the court. I think Magda just wanted to make sure she got it into the rectangle after missing with her last couple, and that'll be a kill for her, and it's now 23-19.
Her percentage shot all the way down to .294 before that kill, but now back up to .353. But Katie Ryan, 9 kills also. Magda and Katie both with 9, but Katie at 500 hit percentage.
Now Penny Tusa serve for the Cougars. Set comes to the right this time for Nunavilla, but dug out by Basham. Now Magda one more time, so that's now back-to-back kills for the junior out of the Czech Republic. She's up to double digits now. The Cougars trying to make a last gasp at this one, have inched their way back to within 3 at 23-20.
Well, now Magda's a tall player now, but for that play, she floated there for a second, finding time in the air and spiking home the kill.
Tusa serving again. Now Nunavilla again from the right. Partially blocked by Yahalasheva. Again, they'll get it to Magda. Her tip is over. And I thought down, but they say no, we keep playing. Now Pukas trying to finish off the point. Now to the right side for Nunavilla, and that ends up off the Cougars and out of bounds. Jen Greeny looking over to her assistants, wanting to know if they are thinking about challenging this one. They thought it was down, but they're going to elect not to use the challenge card, and it will be a point for the Oregon Ducks.
Confusion amongst the referees. One of them called it down, the other one saying no. That is a very interesting call this late in the set.
So here comes the set to the right for Magda. She goes cross court. The Cougars, who needed 4 in a row to keep the set going, get 1 of the 4. And now they need Magda to go on a run at the service line and get 3 consecutive points here for Washington State.
Watch the push down.
So set point number 2 for the Ducks here. Here comes the set to the right for Lewis. She'll go cross court, but that one misses wide. So make it back-to-back points for the Cougars. Now they need 2 more to keep things going.
Well, Steve, we talked about how Magda needed to step up today. If Wazoo was going to get a victory without Pia Timmer, this is her chance. Let's see what she does.
Another serve from the junior out of the Czech Republic. Set to the middle. A block back by Washington State. Hannah Pukas, Kalia Williams get there. It's now a 1-point game, and Oregon wants another timeout.
And the play right there, Abby Hansen for Oregon goes up and goes for the hit. Kalia hits it right back into Abby's face before Abby falls to the ground. A tough turn of events for Oregon.
Back to Poland to wrap up this 3rd set right after this. Well, 24-23, this is how we got there, as the Ducks had a 24-22 lead, and how about the front wall for the Cougars?
Well, and you talk about the run Wazoo is on right now, 3-0 scoring run. It was 24-20. Now all the pressure is on Oregon right now to see if they can get a rally, see if they can get a point and close out Wazoo in this set.
All right, set point number 4 for the Ducks. Magda with the serve. Here comes the set to the outside. Another block from Washington State, but this time it's out of bounds, and Oregon will indeed take this 3rd set. A good flourish from the Cougars at the end of things, but Oregon just too big of a lead for the Cougars to overcome. So that means we will need a 4th set from Pullman tonight. Set number 3 to Oregon, 25-23. The Cougars still up 2 sets to 1, and we'll have the 4th set for you when we come back here to Bowler Gymnasium in Pullman. Glad to have you with us tonight on Pac-12 Insider. Well, the opening 2 sets to the Washington State Cougars as they were going early. Kalia Williams with the kill there, but then the Ducks started to come back and they took set number 3. They got their block going. Argentina Ung filling in for Pia Timmer. And again, it's 2 sets to 1 Washington State as we get ready now for set number 4 from Pullman, Washington. What do you see when you take a look at the stats here, Squavo?
Well, I'm impressed by Magda Yahalashava. A great job here today. The last time these two teams met, she had 10 kills, 9 blocks, and 1 ace. So far, she already has 11 kills on 400 hit percentage, only on 20 attacks. Also 3 blocks on the day. The biggest difference we're seeing today is on the defensive end. Wazoo's offense and hit percentage has actually been better than it was last time these two teams met. At .243 last time. This time they're at .25. The difference is the defense. .091 hit percentage. Last time these two teams met through the entire match. So far for Oregon, they have climbed all the way back from a .086 to a .210. That's the difference. That's why Oregon just won a set.
Yeah, the Ducks hitting .333 in that last set, while the Cougars hit 200s overall for the match. Again, the Cougars with the better attacking percentage, but certainly that young lady right there, Brooke Nunavilla, who has led the way for the Ducks so far here tonight with 13 kills, and they got their attack going. And now we start set number 4 here. Always so interesting in these volleyball matches. Any one set can be a momentum changer. Any one set, any 1 point, and we get ready now for what is going to be an Oregon serve to lead off what is set number 4. It ends up being just a little bit long that time, and a service error for Becca Moores.
You know, and Wazoo has not had a lot of early success here in sets in this match. That would be a key difference in set 4 if Wazoo could get the lead early and get this crowd even more involved.
Well, Julia Norville checking in. Her serve with the Cougs up 1-0. That's the near sideline. It's an overpass, and Penny Tusa climbs the ladder and puts it away for Washington State.
Well, and Penny says, if you don't want it, I want it. The Oregon defender didn't even make a play on the ball. Penny said, I'll take that, and spikes it with authority, sending a message to Oregon.
So Tusa cleans up on the overpass as she's chipped in with a total of 5 kills. Here's the set to the outside for Nunaville, and she will get the kill this time for Oregon. No answer on the Cougar side of things, and she's been the leading attacker on both sides of the net, as that's her 14th.
Nunaville, her back's got to be hurting right now. 14 kills for her, .273 hit percentage. What a game for Brooke.
All right, 2-1 Washington State. Georgia Murphy with the serve. The set this time for Magda. That one mishit, and it'll be a point to the Ducks off the attacking error, and so we're even now at 2 apiece.
Yeah, that one for Magda just hit the wrong part of the hand. We saw Penny Tusa have that happen to her earlier, this time to Magda.
Well, now Georgia Murphy again getting set to serve. Short serve, near sideline. Tusa has to get to it. They'll set up Tusa, but a block there as they set that one up, and it'll be Muteri who ends up getting the block for Oregon.
Yeah, and 2 blockers there for Oregon. Leave no room for confusion. Put that ball directly into the hardwood.
Not a whole lot of options for the Cougars after that good short serve on the near sideline. Made it pretty predictable, and Muteri was there to put it away for the Ducks. Now the set for Magda, another block from the Ducks, so the Ducks with back-to-back blocks. Muteri along with Abby Hansen that time. And the Ducks with now 2 straight blocks have taken an 8-6 lead in that category tonight.
And all the momentum in the world for Oregon right now, defense being the difference. Let's see if they can't keep this together here in the 4th.
4-2, Ducks on top. Another short serve near sideline, and that'll be an ace for Georgia Murphy. So all of a sudden the Ducks on a run, and they've taken the early 5-2 lead. And Jen Greeny wants an early timeout here in Pullman. Early on tonight, it was the Cougars. They took a 2-0 lead. Oregon took the 3rd, and they're up early, 5-2 in the 4th. As we'll be back to Pullman right after a timeout here on Pac-12 Insider. Well, you need more Pac-12 football. Pac-12 Insider has you covered, bringing you the inside stories of the biggest names in Pac-12 football on The It Factory. Pac-12 football with Yogi Roth. Tune in every week as he talks to the best of the Pac-12's past, present, and future, and about what drives them to greatness. New episodes debut every Monday at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 7 Mountain, and then air throughout the week on Pac-12 Insider. Visit pac12.com/insider for more information. Happy to be with you. Pair of top 25 teams battling it out in Pullman tonight. Another short serve from Georgia Murphy, and now Penny Tusa will end up getting the cross-court kill, and that'll finally get Georgia Murphy off the service line. And the Cougars get a critical side out there, Squavo.
Yeah, and what we're looking to see here in the fourth, Hannah Pukis has been a huge player for this team. As you know, number 5 in the Pac-12 in assists per set with 9.31. Having quite a performance here today, already with 28 on the day.
Tusa going to the far sideline. And keep it alive and head over. Now Hanson looking to find the back line, and that's going to be a touch whistled against Washington State. And the point going to Oregon. Cougs want to know who touched it, and they're going to have a challenge card flashed by Jen Graney. So we had the apparent ball from Hanson that ended up long, and they're saying the corner linesman did that a Cougar got a piece of it on its way to the back line, and we will see if this one gets overturned like the previous 3 so far have. Again, it ends up over the net. Hanson goes for it. The Cougars were there. And I, again, do not see anything close to a touch on that one, you.
Well, and this might be one of the best angles we've had all night. You can see that the ball doesn't even hit the same, like there is distance above between the ball and the hand where the camera is perfectly in line across the top of the net. You can see that it's not touched. I think that's going to be the 4th overturn of the day.
I agree with you. It looks like there's air there to me. Unless we see something from a different angle that would show us something different, but it looks to me like there is certainly distance between the hand and the ball. It's perhaps another look at it here from the opposite side. And again, I think that first angle is about as clear as we had. I would be surprised if this one doesn't become the 4th overturn call. She just missed hit it. Now, again, can you see a fingertip move on that? And I think the answer for me is no. So we will see what they decide here. It is indeed out, and again, it will be another overturn call. The good news for both head coaches is they've gotten each of their 2 challenges overturned. The bad news is that they've had to use their challenge cards to get the call right. And you're limited on the challenges you can use. So with it, the point does go to Washington State. It's now 5-4 on the call. It was out of bounds. And here comes Penny Tusa to the service line once again. Overpass one more time. Argentina had to get to it quickly. And now she will be set up for the attempt. But that one will miss wide.
Yeah, Argentina Ung right there, just unable to hit the ball inbounds. But you mentioned it, Steve. 4 for 4 are both coaches combined here today on challenges. That's a good eye. We saw hesitation earlier by Jen. Didn't hesitate to pull the green flag.
Well, I think that also Daphne Nelson has done a good job with the video replays as well. Here comes the attempt from Magdia Halashma. This time she fits it in the sideline, and a point goes to Washington State. What I like about Daphne is she has taken her time looking at the angles, but she's also not taking forever, and I think she's gotten them all right, to be honest with you.
It's been efficient. It's been clear. They're not wasting time at the scorer's table.
All right, here's the serve from Magda. Set to the right for Nunavella. Blocked back by Ung. Now the Ducks scramble and a free ball for the Cougars. Pukis going to go on the attack herself. Diving after it go the Ducks, and they can't get to it. And Hannah Pukis will even things up at 6 apiece here in set number 4.
Well, and I think the key moment of that play was the Ung Hezi touch, where she jumped up and had the timing a little bit off, but stayed in the air long enough to get the touch and keep the play alive. That turned into a point for Pukis.
Set to the outside, double contact, going to be whistled on the set that time from Kylie Robinson. So another point the Cougars' way, and they will reclaim the lead here at 7-6 in set number 4.
What a turn of events here. 3-0 scoring run for Wazoo, trying to reclaim momentum here in the 4th.
Magda again serving. Set to the right this time, and that one a sharp job on the slide from their middle hitter, and Abby Hansen will get the kill from Oregon. That will even things up at 7 apiece now. So 7-all, set number 4. Cougars leading 2-1. Pair of top 25 teams battling it out in Bowling. Kalia Williams going cross court, and Kalia right there with the half a dozen kills herself. And we've talked a little bit about Hannah Pukas, and look at how she's getting everybody involved tonight. 12 kills for Yahalasheva, 9 for Ryan, 6 for Tusa, 6 for Williams. She's got 5 herself, and Argentina Ung's got 5.
It's beautiful how they're facilitating the ball on the Wazoo side of things. And Kalia Williams, if you take a screenshot right there as she was in the air, you might get a Jordan pose. Here's
Pukas with the short serve, setting out in the middle, and this time a kill from Abby Hansen once again, and we're now even at 8 aside as we're back to level terms in set number 4.
You know, Abby Hansen coming into the game, 173 points on the year, 112 kills, 1.42 kills per set. She's having a performance here today.
Redshirt sophomore from Phoenix at 6'5", so is at the service line there. Now Kalia Williams with a nice little touch over the front row, and that one will fall in. As Kalia read that one well and disguised it just enough to get it above the front wall and in for the tip kill for Washington State.
Kalia, Penny, Hannah Pukas, 3 of the most important keys, the heart of this team, making plays here in the 4th.
Overpass off the Ung serve, set to the right for a Katie Ryan tip. That set a little bit off, so she had to tip it across. Meanwhile, a ball that ends up deflecting off a Cougar, and that'll be a kill this time for Morgan Lewis, who's knocking on the door of double-digit kills now.
You know, Carly Basham was close to making a play there, just didn't get the touch that she wanted, wasn't able to keep it up for her teammates. Regardless, we have a tie game, and everything is in front of the Cougars.
About ready to serve, but Clea Williams needed to get her shoes laced up, so they halted play for just a half a second. Now we get ready for the serve from Ferreira, who's back into set. That one off of Ung and into the seats, so an ace for the Ducks. Haven't had many tonight, but that was a well-timed one. Just their 3rd of the night, and it gives Oregon now the lead back as we seesaw back and forth. So Ferreira again serving for Oregon. Basham there to play it. Now Kalia Williams looking for it, and that one missing wide. 11-9, the Ducks on top.
Yeah, Kalia Williams right there, just unable to get on top of the volleyball. Instead, gets a little bit too behind it, sails on her, goes out of bounds. Not the hit she was looking for, but I don't think that'll slow down her momentum.
Now the serve again from Ferreira. She's gotten 2 in a row on her serve, and it's been a 3-point run for the Ducks. That one's going to end up long, so the service error. 11-10, Oregon on top. Again, 2 sets, 1 Washington State here as we play in the 4th. The Ducks have to win to extend us to 5. Well, the Cougars trying to wrap things up on 4 on their next to last home game of the season. Cougs will get the Beavers here on Sunday. Meanwhile, the Ducks will take on the Huskies. That one is going to be a kill for Oregon, and Carson Bacon, haven't called her name in a bit, and she will pick up the kill for Oregon to make it 12-10.
You mentioned it, Steve. Before that hit, .111 hit percentage. That only moves it to .158. Still not the game that she wanted so far, but if Oregon can come away with a win, I'm sure she'll be okay.
Now the set for Penny Tusa. Tries to maneuver it between defenders, but they keep it alive. Nunavilla with the attempt. Dug out momentarily by Basham. Now Tusa goes up. Nunavilla there for the pass, and Muteri has it blocked down by Yahalasheva, covered by Ferreira. Nunavilla with the tip. Pukas to Basham, and now Tusa going up the line. Ferreira keeps it alive momentarily, and a free ball for the Cougars. Pukas right back to Magda on the quick hitter, and she'll put it away to give the Cougars a point.
Well, and with a rally like that, I almost wanted to see if Wazoo would just do a quick attack as soon as they got the ball, but instead they were patient. They allowed Oregon's defense to reset, and then Magda right down the middle. Because of the patience, there's a huge gap in the middle of the court.
So the side out gives it back over to Julia Norville, and it's now 12-11. Cougars trying to even things up on the Norville serve. Diving after it goes Murphy. Nunavilla with the big swing and make it 15 for her. And that was one of those where there just wasn't a whole lot of anything anybody can do when Nunavilla gets off a swing like that.
8-ball corner pocket, said Brooke Nunavilla on that hit. A beautiful kill for Oregon.
So she'll pick up the cross-court attack to make it 13-11 in favor of the Ducks now. Murphy likes that short serve on the sideline. This time Pukas going on the attack herself and now leading the rally cry inside the huddle. And it's now a 13-12 lead.
And Magda wipes her face as if she knows that wasn't the pass she was trying to give, but Hannah cleans it up, almost turning it into an alley-oop with the slam over the net.
So now Penny Tusa set to serve here for Washington State. As the super senior, the deep breath, and now the serve across. Set this time to the middle, dug out across the net. Now Nunneveller will get that one off of a Cougar, and Nunneveller is starting to pile up some numbers now. She's a player that can do that, leading attacker for the Ducks, and she's now up to 16 on the night, and her attacking percentage is now approaching 300.
Well, and that's not even necessarily what she's known for. Yes, she leads her team on the year with 347, but she's also well known for her ability to dig the ball, and she has 8 on the day, 307 on the year, number 3 in the Pac-12.
So Nunneveller has played well here for the Ducks. Meanwhile, a block there from Oregon. It's now a 15-12 Duck lead, and now Argentina Ung with the attempt. That one blocked back. Now it'll be a tip over from Yahalasheva. The Ducks will get it across, and that'll fall in the back corner. So a scramble play for the Ducks, and that'll make it 16-12 Oregon as they will add another point to the cushion. It's now a 4-point lead for the Ducks as they try and put us to a 5th set tonight. So a timeout taken. We'll step aside as well before we come back to continue on in set number 4 from Pullman. Happy to have you with us on Pac-12 Insider. Well, you can join Max Brown weekly for his new show, Pocket Presence, as he breaks down the key plays, drives, and moments from the weekend's most exciting matchups on the gridiron. Catch the action live on Pac-12 Insider. It's Thursdays at 5:30. You can also visit pac12.com/insider for more information. Well, again, 16-12 Oregon as we get back into it here in set number 4. Cougars up 2 sets to 1, but the Ducks are going ahead and they are going to give an attacking error, and the point ends up going to the Ducks. Meanwhile, for Hannah Pukas, she is pretty sure that the Cougars should have gotten that point, but they're not going to get it. Let's see if we can get a better look at that. And it was close on the sideline. Norva was there to play it. They'll set to the right side for Magda. Now the set to the right for Morgan Lewis, dug out by Tusa, and Tusa will keep it going, and Pukas will finish it off for Washington State.
And can you tell, Steve, that this crowd has been waiting to erupt? No question about it. They want to get involved, going crazy right there. The music's getting hyped. Bolo Jim is going crazy, and Magda at the line for the serve.
17-13, Ducks by 4. Overpass, Pukas puts it down, and the Cougars with back-to-back points, making it 17-14.
And a beautiful play right there by Pukas. She's so good up close by the net, just reading the ball, knowing when to set up her teammate for success, knowing how to deceive the defense, and knowing when to attack for herself.
Set coming in this time for Nunneveller, keeping that one going. A diving Julia Norval, and now Tusa goes to work. The set to the right for Lewis, touched at the net by Kalia Williams. Now Magda will set for Argentina Ung. Murphy gets off the good pass. Nunneveller with the attempt, and she will add another kill to her total, making it now 17 on the night for Brooke Nunneveller.
And what a rally back right there by both teams. Bump set, spike, bump set, spike, bump set, kill. Great job ending for Oregon on that rally.
Now Nunneveller at the service line, there to play at Tusa. Pukas setting for Kalia Williams, and that one ends up being a little bit long. And again, breaking down the opening 2 sets and these last 2, again, it's the efficiency numbers that have been the determining factor here in this set. Oregon hitting .421 while the Cougars are under 100. Argentina going to work, and that time finding the back right corner. Side out to the Cougars, making it 19-15.
Well, and this is going to be a great substitution for Wazoo. Katie Ryan comes back in the game with her .474 hit percentage. That's a great sign for Wazoo.
Pukas with the serve. Set to the right. That's going to end up being a net violation whistled against the Cougars, and the point going to the Ducks on the side out to make it 20-15 as they called Argentina in the net.
It's been pretty rough lately for Kalia Williams. We're seeing the last 2 times she's gone for the kill. Instead, she hits the ball too far behind. I'd like to see her get on top of the ball and see if she can't get it down close in front of the front line.
Here's a tip from her. Nunaviller comes up to play it. Sets the right for Lewis, and a kill for Morgan Lewis, and it's now 21-15 Oregon. So again, Oregon up by a half a dozen late, trying to send this one to an all-important 5th set. These two teams not strangers to 5th sets so far this season in this conference. Here comes the serve. That's off of Tucson. That'll be an ace for the Oregon Ducks.
Just the entire script has flipped from earlier on. Coming out of that last break that we had, the percentages every single set have gone up in terms of hitting percentage for Oregon, while every set they've gone down for Wazoo.
Now it'll be Hansen serving at 22-13. That one long for a service error to make it 22-14. Again, these two teams playing in Eugene back in the middle of October. The Cougars sweeping that one, and the Cougars up 2-0 here tonight, but Oregon has rallied for the 3rd set and with the lead here, and that lead now pushed out to 23-16 late in set number 4.
And I couldn't tell if that ball just split the hands of Penny Tusa or got between Tusa and Kalia Williams. Either way, it looked like they were in position to make a play. But once again, the ball going the right direction for the Oregon Ducks.
Meanwhile, a serve up coming now for Ferreira with the Ducks leading 23-16. Now it'll be an attempt from Katie Ryan, and she'll finish off that point for Washington State. So Katie to double digits now with 10 kills behind the 13 of Magda Yahalasheva.
Well, and as we mentioned, Katie having an efficient day, now back up to 500 hit percentage, 10 kills on 20 attacks.
Now the serve from Carly Basham. Set outside, tip over, up to play at Pukas, goes high in the air. The set for Penny Tusa. Murphy there for the pass, set to the middle, blocked down by Yahalasheva, sent back over by the Ducks though on the cover. And now Katie Ryan going cross court. That one dug out by Nunaviller, and Carson Bacon will pick up the kill, and that'll bring the Ducks to set point at 24-17.
Bacon with a huge play for Oregon, looking our Oregon to close out the 4th set right here, an opportunity to send it to the 5th.
So Ducks with a 7-point lead here, and their serve will be played by Argentina. Set to the right for Katie Ryan. That one high in the air off the right arm of Ferreira. Nunaviller actually checked that. That's a back row player, Becca Morse, who tried to go on the attack, but that'll be an attacking error, and the point goes to Washington State, but they now need a half a dozen in a row off the serve of Julian Norval to keep things going.
Anything is possible, right, Steve?
No clock in this game, we know that. It's all dedicated on how many points you need to get. Here comes the set to the outside, a block down by Washington State, kept alive by the Ducks and sent over. Now it'll be Tusa with the big swing, and that time no keeping alive as that's into the 3rd row off the arm of, that time, Georgia Murphy, and the kill to Washington State and Penny Tusa.
It's a good start, good start. We're going to see a timeout, but we're going to need to see perfect play from Wazoo if they want to close them out in this set.
Ducks by 5, 24-19. Back to wrap up the set in just a bit on Pac-12 Insider. Well, we welcome you back again. Set point for the Oregon Ducks here at 24-19. Scores in the conference so far today. Utah with the sweep over California. Stanford leads Colorado 2-1. the other matches to take place tomorrow, but how about the 5'11 junior Nunaville has led the way for Oregon with 17 kills. And again, another set point for the Ducks here, as it will be a serve that ends up on the line for Julia Norville for an ace. And the Cougars make it 24-20.
Now, Wazoo needs perfection right here, but last set it was 20-24 when they made it 23-24, so it's been done before. This time, can they continue?
Serve from Norville ends up in the net, and that will give the fourth set to Oregon. And we are heading to a fifth set tonight. Two teams that are even in the standings in the Pac-12 Conference, now even in this match at 2 sets apiece. The opening 2 sets for Washington State. Oregon then rallied and were able to pick up a couple of sets to themselves. And we're heading to the all-important fifth set tonight in Moore Gymnasium. And it heads your way next on Pac-12 Insider. Well, the opening 2 sets to Washington State, 25-16, 25-19. Oregon taking the last 2 sets to even things up at 2 apiece. And as you take a look at the stats here on the screen, Squabble, what jumps out at you?
You know, I've just been impressed by the teamwork, both sides of the net in this matchup. Coming into this matchup, Elise Ferreira and Kylie Robinson for Oregon led with 645 and 406 assists on the year in this match so far, 23 and 21 respectively. That's a great start, great efficiency. They're setting up their team for success, and that's why we're here in the fifth set.
Yeah, heading to the fifth set, probably not a surprise when you take a look at the Pac-12 standings. Washington State and Oregon coming into this one tied for third place in the Pac-12 standings with Utah. Utah's already won, so they're 12-5. The winner of this one stays in that top third of the Pac-12 conferences. They will also be 12-5. And so obviously a big match on both sides of things. And as you took a look at those standings, you saw that we are playing match number 17 of the conference season. Both these two teams are playing their fifth setter of the season. So again, both these teams are not it's not unusual to go this deep into the match. Oregon, part of the reason we're at where they are in the standings, they're a perfect 5-0 setters this season. So is this where that comes to an end, or do they make it 6-0? Meanwhile, the Cougars, of course, they had that marathon 5-setter with the Huskies earlier in the season. They have gone 2-3 so far in their 5-set matches. All right, it's a race to 15, and the serve will start with the Oregon Ducks. The set will come to Argentina from the back row. That's off the Ducks and back beyond the line. And every point becoming so much more crucial, Squabo, because you don't go to 25 here in the fifth. It's that race to 15 points.
Well, we saw Becca Morse on that first play fighting as if every point is more valuable, like you're talking about, Steve. Really no chance at the ball, but she still ran full speed and dove for it. Great effort. That's something I look to see continue here in the fifth.
Penny Tusa at the service line. Morse does a good job to play it. Set to the outside for Nunaville, and she is now up to 18 kills on the night. We are even now at 1 apiece here in set number 5.
Yeah, Julia Norville unable to keep the ball in bounds right there for Wazoo. 1-1 early in what has been a close match.
Who can get the better at the service line and who can limit their errors in this fifth set? Here comes the serve from Oregon, set outside for Argentina. Block back, and then Magda sends it the other way. There's an attempt from Oregon, blocked back by Argentina. Now Nunaville one more time, but Norville there for the pass. Set this time for Yahalashva, blocked back but covered by Basham. Now Ong with an attempt, another block back, but again covered by Washington State. Argentina this time tools it off the block attempt, and a point to Argentina Ung, and it will be a side out to Washington State.
And once again, defense, the story of the matchup. Both teams rejecting each other's attack attempts back and forth on that rally. Defense will look to be the difference here in the fifth.
Well, and you saw Argentina, tired of seeing those blocks come back, use the block to her advantage that time. Here's the set now for Nunaville. Magda's able to get to it off the deflection. Now the Cougars just able to clear it up on the miscommunication, and the set to the middle. Again, the cover this time from Norville. Kalia Williams goes for it, and this time the block finished off by Oregon. Nunaveller and Hansen get to it, and we are even at 2 apiece.
Man, what better start could we ask for, Steve? I know you've been doing this for 15 years, man, but it doesn't get much better than this.
Oh, 5-setters are always special, especially in this conference, and here we are 2-2 in the 5th. Here comes the serve. Now it'll be set for Argentina one more time. Deflected over to the Duck side of things. The swing stays on the Cougar side on the block attempt from Argentina Ung. And a point goes to Oregon.
Kick is good, almost a complete reception, but unable to get the block and unable to keep the ball up for Argentina Ung.
All right, the serve again, going to Robinson. There to play it. Norville flipping it over the net and picking up the kill will be this time Hannah Pukas. We talk a lot about doubles in this sport when it comes to kills and digs, and for setters, assists and digs. Well, Hannah Pukas is 1 kill shy of a triple-double tonight. Here's her serve. Here comes the set to the middle. That one getting a piece of it, Basham, and then both Argentina Ung and Penny Tusa going after the next touch. They collide, and it will be a point for Oregon to make it now 4-3.
Well, and honestly, Steve, that might just be one of the complications of having a new player in the lineup. Argentina Ung, so new. First start last week, second this week. With Pia out, that kind of stuff is just destined to happen.
Argentina with the pass. The set comes to the right for a tip from Kalia Williams, and that one falls in. Actually played up, but then they say it was outside of the antenna. Matt Ulmer can, I think, show the challenge here as to whether or not it was down or not. Now, I'm not sure. We'll see here if it ends up down, but I'm also wondering if they had kept it going. Did it go outside the antenna, or would we have kept going there? So we'll see how this one ends up being played out on the replay. Murphy goes to try and keep it alive, and then it was tried to flip it over the net, and you ended up with the whistle there from the referee. So I do think that, again, if she kept it alive, and we haven't gotten a great look at the pancake yet, she dives after it. Now, does that hit the floor? It's tough to tell on this angle because her body is between us and where the ball lands. And now this is a better look at it. Okay, she dives after it. And, does she get the hand underneath it, or does it end up being there? And then I guess my next question is, after that, the next touch, is that in the play if she does keep it going, or does it end up out of bounds?
How about Georgia Murphy with the effort, regardless of if this gets overturned or not, diving to the floor and making it look like there's a chance Oregon could get this point?
Well, I think it would be a replay, and it will be a replay, so they say that she got to it to pancake it up. Now, Jen Greeny, I think, is going to get to the second part of the equation that I have, is on the pass, did it end up being out of bounds? Because, again, Murphy kept it going, and then that next touch, was that over the net, and was it on the wrong side of the antenna? And that was the second part of the equation that I originally had, but it looks like we're going to have a replay, because I believe what we had was the whistle killing the play, and therefore that part of the equation might not come into advantage. So again, it's a replay, and here's the serve with Oregon on top 4-3. Set to Katie Ryan this time, and that is off of Murphy, and wow, into the upper deck on that one here to the seats of Boulder. And we're even at 4 apiece, and Katie Ryan with her 11th kill.
Once again, Katie Ryan has been spectacular today, playing a very, very clean game, .478 hit percentage, carrying the Wazoo Cougars in that department.
That one hits the tape of the net and falls back to the Cougars side for a service error. So 5-4 Oregon here. Again, these two teams battling out to find out who stays pace with Utah for the 3rd spot in the Pac-12 conference. The serve now going to the Ducks, and their serve is into the net. So they brought in a specialty server in Dalia McClellan, it's tough this time of the match, and I'm sure Daly is as good of a server as Oregon might have, but when she's been sitting over there for as long as she has to come in this type of situation and try and uncork the serve, that's a lot of pressure.
The fans are going crazy. The arms are getting stiff. That is a difficult situation, Steve. You nailed it.
Now we've had 3 consecutive service errors, so maybe you're seeing a little bit of tightness on both sides. Ung followed by McClellan, and now Basham with a service error. And it's now 6-5 in favor of Oregon. And now it'll be Ferreira at the service line for the Ducks here. She's ready for her serve. That one's in play. Pukas will set up for Magda Halasheva, dug out though by Oregon. Set to the right. Ung with a good dig. They'll set for Magda one more time, and she'll get the point off the deflection off of Carson Bacon. And we're back to level terms once again. This time it's 6 apiece.
Pukas to Magda. How many times have we talked about that connection here tonight? Great job finding Magda multiple times on that rally. Finally able to punch through for the score.
All right, 6 apiece. The serve back to Washington State. Julia Normal with her serve. Here comes the set to the outside. Blocked down that time by Hannah Pukas and Magda Yahalasheva. We've talked about Hannah with the potential triple-double, and that doesn't even bring into account her 3 big blocks tonight.
And with Hannah, you love to see the energy she brings to this team, turning around and telling her teammates, let's go, screaming, showing emotion. It's the 5th set. That's what it's about.
Set outside again for the Ducks. That one's going to end up wide, and an attacking error for Oregon. And it's now 8-6 Washington State, as it's 3 consecutive points for the Cougars here.
Good little dodge move, Steve. That one was gunning for you.
I sometimes have seen fire while sitting courtside, and a lot of the times it's even been from my own Cougars, and it's been friendly fire when I've been calling games for Washington State. Nobody at home. It does end up across the net, and a free ball here for the Cougars. Tusa with the tip, and the Ducks can't get to it. Make it 4 in a row for the Cougars, and the Ducks will call timeout. Well, momentum had shifted to Oregon, but now in the 5th set, a 4-0 run for the Cougars has got them happy on the sideline. And how about this one from Penny Tusa to give the Cougars a 9-6 lead here in the 5th. And we're back right after this on Pac-12 Insider. Well, 9-6 Washington State as we are in the 5th set. The Cougars with just a couple more kills in Oregon. Look at that hitting percentage, Slavo, even at 238 apiece. That does not get any closer than that. It's statistically impossible.
No, and it's so exciting. 2 great teams fighting for a chance at 3rd in the Pac-12 after today. It is a battle to this point.
Another block by the Cougars. Nunaville are able to cover it. Now another attempt. This time it is going to be down, and they're going to say that it hit the deck, and a point going to Oregon after a 4-0 run from Washington State.
And boy, that was a close one. Wazoo almost able to keep it in the air. Unfortunately for them, Oregon does end up getting the point after that.
So Becca Morse now to the service line for the Ducks. Her serve sailing back to Tusa. Pukas will set it up on the slide for Magda. That one touched by a Duck. And a point for Magda Yahalasheva, who's come up big for the Cougars here tonight. 15 kills to go along with her 4 blocks. And it's 10-7 Washington State.
15 for Magda, 19 for Brooke on the other side of things. What a showcase we have of talent in the Pac-12.
Penny Tusa at the service line now for the Cougars. Here's the set to the right. Argentina got a piece and then tries to put it back down. Can't. Nunaville dug out by Masham. It's at the net. There to try and put it away. Pukas, but it's out of bounds.
Man, Pukas putting just a little bit too much English on that one, trying to find the sideline, unable to find it. Instead, point for Oregon, but man, are these teams battling right now.
Well, I think Hannah also maybe thought that the block was going to be there and was trying to hit it off the hands of one of the Oregon players. 10-8 our score. There was a good serve, but a better pass from Norval. Now Ung to try and put it away. And they're going to catch the Ducks in the net. They're going to call Abby Hansen in the net. And the point to the Cougars makes it 11-8.
And Hansen with a deer in headlights look towards her coach. I don't know what I did. Not trying to admit it. But late in this game, the refs are going to call that.
Maggie Halacheva with a great serve. Kept alive, though, by Oregon. Free ball. Kept alive by Norval. And now Kalia Williams getting the point for Washington State.
An eruption by the Cougar crowd following that Kalia spike. It's been a while since we've been able to give credit for Kalia for getting a kill. Great job right there with the enthusiasm. Not only the kill, but going to her teammates and getting them hyped.
Well, the only all-volleyball facility in the conference. The home fans are happy, and the Cougars are up 12-8 in the fifth. Back in a bit, right here on Pac-12 Insider. Well, 12-8, Washington State here in the fifth set. The Cougars and the Ducks going the distance tonight here at Fuller Gymnasium as we get ready for action once again. Again, a big 4-point run from the Cougars, and now a little bit of a cushion as we head down to the stretch here.
You know, and that's exactly what Wazoo wanted. Too many close games down the stretch, and we've seen those go both directions. Wazoo trying to keep some control on this and not let Oregon even in close.
There was a good serve from Magdia Halasheva, set to the outside for Nunaviller, who hangs in the air and then goes up the line for a kill. So it's 12-9 Washington State, but the Ducks pick up their 9th point on the 20th kill of the night from Brooke. So now the serve to go to the Oregon Ducks, and the serve from Robinson. Here's the set to the right for Kalia Williams and her tip. Murphy keeps it alive. It bounces into the net, then hit across by Nunaviller. Now Kalia Williams will set up. Argentina Ung sizes it up, and across the net it will go. Back set for Nunaviller, who goes up the line one more time. And back-to-back points for the Ducks to get within a couple as they cut the 4-point lead in half.
Are you kidding me? Brooke Nunaviller with more than double the kills she had last time these two teams played, 21 so far in the match.
Argentina goes up, walk back, played by Kalia Williams. Puka setting it for Kalia, and she's able to throw it into the body of Hansen, and then it ends up in the net. Point to Washington State, and what a critical point that was. Matt Ulmer up and talking to the officials. I think he wants a lift called on Kalia Williams here. That has been a call that's been pretty inconsistent all season long from all types of officials. Not called there, and I think rightly not called considering what I've seen so far this season. All right, 13-10. That was the attempt from Oregon, and they will get the kill this time from Morgan Lewis to make it 13-11.
What a game we have down the stretch. Neither team trying to give an inch. Both teams scrapping and clawing. 11-13, 2 points away from a victory are the Cougs.
Nunaviller with her serve. That'll be played by Argentina Ung. Set to the right for Kalia Williams, and she will go up the line. And the Cougars are at the doorstep, and it is match point.
And Steve, how many times have we talked about it today? The energy by Kalia Williams and Penny Tusa. Those two are going crazy right now following a huge momentum play. Let's see if Wazoo can't close it out.
Well, they're looking for a 6th straight trip to the NCAA tournament on the Cougars. This would be a big win to try and add to the resume. Set to the right, Katie Ryan tips it over with that one a little bit long. And it's a side out to Oregon, and the Cougars will have match point number 2.
You know, the ball was a little bit long there by Katie Ryan, but you got to put a little bit of blame there on Hannah Pukas. The pass wasn't exactly where it needed to be, but Ryan was also out of position.
Daly McClellan in the serve for Oregon. Serve on the way, hits off of the net and clears. Here's the set outside for Katie Ryan. She will finish it off for Washington State. The crowd erupts at Bowler, and a 5-setter that goes to the Cougars. And knowing what lies ahead for Washington State, matchups on the road against Salt Lake City, on the road against the Utah Utes, and perhaps no Pia Timmer for those matchups. This one was a huge one to add to the resume tonight.
Well, to get the win without Pia Timmer, that's telling everyone deciding the rankings, deciding who makes it in the volleyball tournament. This team can win even without their best player. We talked about it coming into the game. Pia Timmer led in points with 402 on the season. 348 kills led the team on the season. 3.91 kills per set were missing. It went the distance, it went the full 5, but Wazoo finding a way to get it done. That sends a message to the rest of the country.
Well, Washington State in 5. They're dancing a bowler. Kalia Williams, Carly Basham leading the way out there. Meanwhile, on the stat sheet, Magda Yahalasheva, 15 kills, 12 for Katie Ryan. Kalia Williams had 10. And then what about the job of Hannah Pukas tonight? A kill shy of a triple-double. 9 kills, 45 assists, and 14 digs.
45 assists. Now you look on the other side of things, Elise Ferreira, Kylie Robinson, 26 and 24 individually. You combine those, and that's just about what Hannah Pukas gave us today. That is incredible play by one of this team's leaders.
Brooke Nunneveller, 21 kills and hit 333 or so for the Ducks, trying to will the Ducks to a reverse sweep. It was 2 sets to Washington State, then Oregon had the momentum, but the Cougars get it done in the 5th, 15-12. And we thank you so much. The Cougars now tied with Utah for 3rd place in the conference, and you've been watching this 5-setter on Pac-12 Insider.